every area of my life. And my health is getting better, my patience, my relationships with people, my finances. It's just, the wheel is running pretty smooth. I got a great business partner, a beautiful woman. My kids and I are, I'm breaking through the family pattern of kids and parents. There's nothing there. It's just little like hassles, which it's, I never looked at it like that, but to truly connect, with the kids. And so it's it's taking all that crap and
fertilizing something with it.
Yeah.
Planting a seed in it, watering it with your tears and see what grows.
Well, somebody said to me over here the other day that, Dan, even if you never made another video, you're going to live forever.
Yeah.
And that it's really the love that's going to live forever, the transformation, because I've heard, and shows you, like, I might not have the most video views, but the transmission of energy. The love is going to go, maybe Aunt Edna never watched one single Life Regenerator video, but because you went over to Aunt Edna's house with a juicer and she felt that, she went and got her own self a juicer, and that was because you saw a Life Regenerator video. Now Aunt Edna's got a juicer, and Uncle Harry comes over, which is her brother, and they get together and drink juice a couple times a week, and he's like, wow, this is great, so you just never know, and you really don't even want to be that concerned. You just want to make sure that you're impregnating the world with your awesomeness.
Doing your best work. Doing your best work.
That's what I'm doing here.
As often as you can. Give, and don't worry about what you get. Let go of the expectations, and this is something you and I have been dealing with. Oh, whoa, there goes the smoothie. Anya, we got a smoothie down. I'm sorry about that, Dan.
Tim, I'm going to kill you when we turn this video off, bro. My pants. Oh, it's just on my shoes. That's no problem.
I'll lick it off later. We can have
I think I'll be all right if I just... yeah, bro. Dude, I spill more food on me than any human being. I've got mango on my sweats down to here. I walk out of the deal and Megan Elizabeth looks at me like, you got mango on your pants, bro. And I'm like, it's elbow dripping.
How many times have you spilled the juice on your laptop?
Dude, I have never done that.
Put a couple green smoothies onto mine.
Okay, I've never done that. I keep that separate. Like, even if I watch a movie on the
distance,
I go way back, and I've got a plastic rubber cover just in case, because there are watermelon splashes. Yeah. But there's never been a juice episode. So I've broken a computer, I've had them stolen, but nothing like that yet, and it ain't happening.
And when it does, it's okay.
I'll go buy a new one, dude, because I am a massively abundant human being. And a couple of years ago, I did not know that, but now I've seen it. I was working with Tavis, and he's really good with the concept of money and how it is when you stop chasing it, it'll start chasing you. And as soon as it became less important, it's just been coming to me. So
it's the
ATM. People want to know.
You're owning it now. He's owning it.
Oh, dude. Well, I've always owned it because, ATM has always meant always the man. DTM is ATM. DTM, Dan the Man, is always the man. If you want to call me that, all they're doing is blessing me.
Yeah.
They're blessing me because they're like, he's all about money. I'll bring it.
Well, it's about value. See, what people don't realize is that money is about value. It's an exchange of value.
Mm-hmm.
You provide something of value, and people exchange something. They give you something in return.
And you know what? If you give away free stuff, what do people do? Oh, I'll watch that later, and they never watch it.
They don't value it.
You got to give them a favor and charge a little bit more than you could, so they value it even more and take the time to watch your stuff and learn from it. And if someone pays for something, like when I buy an audio program or a book, I mean,
you listen to it. You pay attention to it.
I listen to it. I really want it.
Yeah.
I don't play. I ain't even trying to play, dude. You can't be a fool up in this business.
Dan, I was an actor in LA for quite a while, and I always wanted a celebrity mentor, someone to, guide me, like somebody who's doing it. And it was a crazy synchronistic thing. It was one of the lowest days of my life. I'll add a little bit to the story here. Man, I was having a day. I didn't think I was going to make it through that day. It was one of my deepest, darkest lows of depression. So I just got in the car and I said, you know what? If I'm going down, I'm not going to go down here in my room, just feeling like crap. I'm going to go down there out in the world. Who knows what I'll interact with? So I ended up in South Central LA, just driving around. I don't even know why. It's like, what am I doing here? And then suddenly I'm in Pasadena and driving around, and I'm like, I just can't take it. I just can't take being alive right now. I got to distract myself. A movie. Let's go to a movie. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the only movie playing in Glendale was Dawn of the Dead, right? And that's the only movie playing at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I want to die, and the only movie playing is Dawn of the Dead, but God, it's something to distract me, please. So I go into the movies, I watch Dawn of the Dead, and I hate zombie horror films because it puts so much negative energy. You're just like absorbing negative energy. But I'm watching it, and one of the lead actors is a guy by the name of, I won't tell you his name, but people can figure it out for themselves if they want. Anyways, this guy ended up going to my college. So he was an alumni of the college that I went to, and now here he is one of the stars of this movie. So I'm like, that's it, that's the guy. I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to email him or whatever and say, hey, we went to the same college. You're a big actor now. You know, is there anything you can do? I need help, dude. I'm going down. So came out of the movie all inspired, turned it around. Even though it was a crappy negative movie, I got something. You know, I came out of there with a seed of possibility. I go to the gym the next morning. Guess who walks in the gym? Never seen the guy in my life before, ever. He walks into the gym. I'm like, no way. So like after like 2 hours of me trying to get up the courage to go talk to him, I finally walk over and I'm like, hey, you know, did you go to this college? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, so did I. And I'm like, could I take you to lunch sometime and maybe talk about acting, you know? And he was a little hesitant, but then eventually said yes. Long story short, he started mentoring me. I'd go out to his house in Malibu, you know, beautiful house on the beach in Malibu, and he loved coconuts, so we'd like chop coconuts, and we'd work on acting stuff. He'd like coach me, and it was incredible. You know, I got a celebrity mentor now.
Wow.
I'm at his house, and we're cracking coconuts, and he's teaching me all the stuff. And he didn't charge me. He didn't charge me. He did it for free. But after about 2 months, I show up one day, and he's like, Tim, I'm going to start charging you. He said, not because I need the money. I don't need the money. But I'm going to start charging you, and I'm going to charge you a lot of money because you're not taking it seriously.
Oh.
He said, do you know how many people, he said, I'm not being arrogant, but do you know how many people would die to be in your shoes right now? And you're not taking it seriously. You got your dream, you got what you wanted, you've got the celebrity mentor, and you're not taking it seriously. So I'm going to charge you so that when you show up here,
you're ready to work.
You're ready to work.
Word.
And it's not going to be cheap. And this is what happens in life, you know. So many opportunities come into our life. And because they're so free and easy, we live in a time of unlimited abundance.
Man.
Is there any warring tribe about to kill us right now? Is there, you know, a crazy storm or we don't have shelter? Are we naked sitting, you know, dealing with rain or whatever? Man, is life easy right now?
Infinite abundance, bro.
Infinite abundance. And we're freaking out about, oh, it's so scarce.
All
it's so
about
scarce.
the money and
all
I hate
of this
that other
abundance
guy.
comes in, and what do?
We go get a job at 7-Eleven thinking that's all that we're worth.
That's all that we're worth. That's all
mad
that
as hell about the dude who's like, yo, I make YouTube videos and I'm chilling, you know? Because the dude because I was able to tap into that abundance and I wasn't afraid to, you know, I didn't need to get stuck. You know, I survived for so long without anything. I knew that I didn't. It was all the people's attachments. I need my bike, then I need my refrigerator, I need my little apartment, and I need my car and insurance so I can go to the job. But for me, it was like I went so long with nothing so many times that I was in no hurry to get a crappy job. I could slowly but surely do this through faith. It's a little bit easier maybe for a man in the world.
And you also learned how to go without. And you learned how to deal with challenge.
And I love it.
When you grow up with hard times, you learn how to deal with adversity. It becomes your university, you know?
Well, the thing is, bro, I mean, the best times of my life when it was just me and a backpack and nothing to worry about. I was free, and I knew it. I'd be out there on the street, and they'd be all bitching and complaining. I'd be like, we're free. You're here because you want to be, whether you realize that or not. And most of them would get it. You know, they just, what's wrong with drinking and smoking all day?
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I just drink beer, smoke weed, and think about God and what I want to do with my life. And if I had to, I'd go make some money somewhere. you know, but, you know, it's just, do you want to be a victim or do you want to be victorious, you know? And right now I'm just playing the game. Like, I went without, and now I'm going to build up and get that and master that and just be like cha-ching and have all the unlimited options that I want. And then I'm going to get rid of it all and just go back to being a dude in a one pair of clothes and walking around. Just, I already see it. It's like, it's just a fun game that we should all be playing.
Yeah, and what's the point of abundance other than to share it with other people? The more abundant I become, the more I can share with other people.
That's the only reason I need money in the first place.
Right?
Take Sophia shopping. She loves it. I laugh at her. She's like, should I get this one, this one? I'm just like, I love it. Get them all, baby. I don't care. Take my kids shopping. When I, you know, the more money I give them, the better Natea eats and Katya and their mom. And you know, I'm going to move them into a nicer apartment. There's 3 women in a 2-bedroom. It's just, wow. And the little Katya, she's getting, you know, the poop running downhill. So I'm going to spend a little bit more and get them into a nicer place. And that's, man, I don't need nothing, man. So it's hard for people to understand what a real man is, you know, that he just does what he does because his woman inspires him and his kids inspire him and he feels good doing for others. That's what makes us happy. Women need to realize that. Like, I feel guilty or whatever. It's like, honey, you inspire me. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably be eating beer and drinking beer and eating hot dogs, watching TV in some apartment with one of my other fat buddies, you know? And, but you know, a woman makes you like, yeah, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna wash some laundry. I'm gonna do the laundry, I'm even gonna do the dishes. But if it's just you and your buddies and there's no woman there, you're like, I'll do the dishes next week. They've been sitting there, you know, no fresh dishes left in the counter. You just grab one of the dirty ones and put your macaroni and cheese on there. So the women inspire us.
I think we have 2 gas tanks. I think everybody has 2 gas tanks. We act like we have one. And there's a lot of people saying, you know, you've got to fill yourself, right? You don't need anybody. You don't need a woman in your life. You don't need a man in your life. You're good enough. Yes, that's true for one of your gas tanks. But we got 2. We've got the gas tank that's me being fulfilled as a man in the world, but then there's the gas tank that's about connection. And that does require other people. That does require being vulnerable and being generous, letting people in and then giving back, you know, breathing in, breathing out. So I can fill up my gas tank right to the rim, but without connection, what's the point? That other gas tank is still empty. You know, and if you're just doing it for you, like, hey, I'm great, I don't need anybody, and I'm happy and I'm blessed, but are you connecting? Are you making a difference? Are you reaching out? Are you taking a little bit of your gas to help somebody else? Are you lowering your tank to make somebody else's tank fuller?
A life of service is a very fulfilling life. Yes, we want to definitely promote that. And that's what, you know, for the people that are like, what should I do with my life? I don't know, go out and help other people find out what they want to do with their life.
Yeah, who's struggling more than you right now? You're struggling? Find somebody that's struggling more than you, and suddenly, wham, you feel good.
And help them.
Yep.
Go.
Well, yeah, don't just look at them and say, ha ha, no, I mean, help them.
Man,
go out there and help them. Yes.
You're a real loser. I feel a lot better. See ya. You know, but you know, you just want to be involved in helping people, serving them. And then you get out of your own, am I doing it right? I'm not good enough. You're just like, when I went and made those sandwiches for the homeless people, something I've wanted to do for years. And it just takes a lot of guts. It's kind of weird and funky. You make the sandwiches, you know, and you're just handing out, and these guys, they appreciate it. Like, wow, an heirloom tomato. I mean, they're smart. Like, they know this is an heirloom tomato. These veggies are so crisp. The sandwiches we have these have no preservatives. I mean, they were just really appreciated it, you know, and it was just, I was just there for them to take some of that abundance that I've been given and to give it back, you know.
Yeah.
And I even handed out, you know, money.
And you know, and it's not even about the sandwich or the money. It's about the fact that you stopped and said, you matter. You have value.
Yep.
You're a human being. And that's what really makes the most difference.
That is exactly the essence that I got, you know. People were just like, who are you with? A church? And I'm like, nah, just myself,
just
man.
With me.
Yep. And they were just like, wow. And it really was that you're willing to come out here and just be here with us, you know. Because there was different. Some are there because they want to be. And I know this because I was there. I never had to be homeless. You know, well, there was a couple times when I got knocked out of kilter, but you know, you don't have to be. You're kind of there. You're just killing time, buying some time, trying to figure out what you want to do or whatever. And then there's people that are just messed up, and then there's people that are just programmed and just cannot break the poverty consciousness. I know about poverty consciousness, and it's you're there doing it. You're programmed with it, and so the opposite of that is abundance consciousness. You know,
self-worth. If
that's
you
the
don't
key.
value yourself, you don't feel that you deserve the value that's coming at you. The value is always coming at you. The abundance is always coming at you. But if you say, well, I'm not valuable, then you don't open up and let it in.
That's why my videos and my message is definitely about remembering the divinity from which you came. And that if you could like look through the eye of God and look at how precious and perfect you are, and how unique and individualized and absolutely perfect just the way you are, you're the most important cog in the wheel. Because without you, the whole thing is just gonna, the machine's gonna stop. You being you, exactly who you are with all your positive traits and negative traits, you're exactly what you need to be to keep the world functioning perfectly. And without you, the world would not be the perfect place that it is, you know? People are, and I know about that too. I mean, I'm still working on just really, it's like infinite value. I'm talking about like the warmth of your heart towards yourself, knowing that you really are worth all the abundance in the entire universe. Yeah. And letting it just flood into you, you know? And it all depends on how you respond. Are you hoarding it? It's like,
are you holding your breath?
I let it, you know what? It's like, it's funny because if you focus on spending it, it just, it's weird. Like Tavis said that, just spend it. He said, you know, and he was working with me on the finances. He said, just spend it, you know? And when you're down to your last 10 bucks in your bank, you say, wow, you did a great job spending all that money. And it'll just, you know, it'll come, you know? So now if you look at it the other way, I need to save and budget and all that. I just look at it, and I've done this. I'm not it's not conclusive yet, but the more I spend on other people and not worry about it so much and go, oh God, should we get this room or should we just go to the Motel 6? And I'm like, this room is twice as much, but baby, look at these pillows, you know? And then you just get into that thing, and then you just get used to the nice pillows, and you notice that nicer room lifts you up. Then you do better videos. You know, the Motel 6 doesn't have a bath. Well, if you could have took a bath, you would have loved it. You would have got on here and made a better video. That would have helped more people, created more value. So the nicer room creates more value, and then in turn brings you more back. And you can look at that a million ways. Are you a Motel 6er, which I'm still not above, or do you want to spend another 50 bucks on this other extended stay, nice place where they don't use the nasty chemicals and the carpet's actually clean and there's a couch to meditate on? So you're worth it. And the more that I see my worth of these nicer rooms, that's one of my bigger metaphors. It's like always going for the cheap room for so many years, the cheapest. And now I'm just like, we'll take it.
Yeah, if you're always cutting corners, you never really get to fully experience yourself.
As far as financially or?
In any way, you know, it's like if you say, okay, I can't do that because then I'm not going to have the money to do this, and then I'm not going to have the money to do this, and then I'm going to be stressed out, and you create this vicious cycle. But when you say, you know what, right now, I'm going to enjoy this moment, and right now, I have the money, I have the resources, I have the abundance to enjoy this moment fully and completely, and if I do that, I will create something. But if I'm like, oh, well, you know, I better ration things because we don't live in a time of abundance. Right. I better ration it out. So let's not really enjoy it. You're not going to have the insight. You're not going to have that connection because you're going to be pulling something back. You're holding back.
You're like contracting.
You're contracting yourself.
Instead of expanding. Exactly. And then when you're expanded and open, more can flow in. Yeah. It's like you have to, so the wider, it's almost like the wider that your outgo is, the wider the gate is for the inflow. Yeah. But if you're always like, oh, we got to pinch these pennies, but you just got this little gate and you're going to keep the little gate. But you're like, no, honey, we got the money. Let's get the Let's get the extra pepperoni this time.
Turn it up.
Oh, the extra pepperoni, right on. You know what, honey? I want those nice soft hemp socks. They're a couple dollars more. Can we do it? Yeah, let's do it. You know, I mean, and then, oh, the nicer room. Yeah, let's get these Egyptian cotton sheets. You know, they're $20 more, but so what? They're softer. You know what I mean? You're not always looking at it from this thing, you know?
And it really doesn't have anything to do with the sheets or the socks or anything else. It has everything to do with how you feel about yourself.
Yep.
I'm worth it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm
Your
worth
value.
it, and then I'm going to give my worth out to somebody else.
Yep.
I will have more to share if I take care of myself.
So it's an unconscious process that's like, you know, sometimes our teachers and stuff, they try to make these linear books of here's how you balance all your budgets. But I'm, again, going back to the essence.
Yeah.
I'm just an essence-oriented guy, and not a lot of people in this world are. They want the data, they want the left brain plan of how to get more financially abundant. I'm just like, here's my plan, just spend more money. What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying that's all that works for me. I just keep spending it and quit worrying about that whole contraction thing and be like, screw it, let's get the $150 room tonight instead of the, you know, $60 Motel 6. And then it's like you got the Wi-Fi speed is faster. You can make 2 videos. More value because more self-worth.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're saying when you treat yourself, when you indulge, is that you are worth it. And that when you tell yourself that unconsciously, that leaves the door open.
And it also comes through in your message. If you're putting out a message, but people can hear that you really don't value yourself or value your words, then they don't value the message. Like, what is sales? If you break down, everything is sales, by the way. When you're communicating with someone, trying to form a relationship or interacting in any way, it's all sales. Sales is the transfer of enthusiasm. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I've noticed
So
that.
if you take care of yourself, you're more enthusiastic. And you're going to transfer that to somebody else. And now they're enthusiastic. And they're going to give you something back. There's going to be an exchange. But if you're not enthusiastic, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't buy my product. Maybe you shouldn't buy me. Maybe you shouldn't talk to me because I'm not a good conversationalist. Maybe you shouldn't date me because I'm not really attractive. Or maybe you shouldn't. Then they're like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're like, hey, you know, not like, wow, look at me, I'm amazing, but no, like, hey, look, I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic. I'm going to give you some of that. And now they're like, ooh, wow, that was a great gift, thank you.
Nice, bro. That's good. I got another DVD coming up for sale, and I plan this time
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm going for it. This time I'm going to do more than I've ever done. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to do it like a man does it, and I'm not going to worry about what anybody says. You're selling too much. It's like, yo.
And like a man.
Yeah, it's on fire. Like, the more videos I make and the more I promote this awesome product, Juicing Mastery, the more people are going to benefit because the more people are going to buy it. They're going to watch it, and they're going to change their life, and then they're going to pass it on to somebody else. So it's for real.
Well, you know, most people make money. Isn't tight.
Now I really wish I edited. Maybe if you guys just heard my foot rubbing against this rock down here.
Yeah. Was that a duck you just stepped on?
Oh, that's a good one, man.
See, and that's the thing. This is perfect. Because people go through life feeling that they have to be perfect and everything, that every pimple has to be gone.
And you can't fart.
You can't fart and you can't show your vulnerability. No, laugh at it, have fun with it, embrace it. It's your truth.
It's okay to fart, but just don't pick your nose.
Because everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
But usually they hold it for like 6 hours. Pretty soon they're like, man, I was holding that fart for like 3 hours and I knew I was coming in here to let it go, but it just went back up inside me. Now I got fart stuck in me. And I'm just like, well, I gotta get this out. I mean, that one was actually an accident. I think I moved my leg or something. Oh, God, dude.
Thank you. That was a gift, man.
I needed to laugh for a while, dude. I think we pretty much did a pretty dang good job today. Hour and a half.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a little timer on there.
All right.
That's pretty good, TiVo.
Good stuff.
But, I mean, I think that was perfect. It's making videos with you is, you know, there is something very special about it.
Well, it's not about making videos. It's about really, honestly opening up and conversing.
Honestly, I mean,
it's a dance.
I didn't even really. I'm not in life regenerator mode, and it's nice.
No, we're just having a conversation.
Well, that's the thing about you is like the camera's there, but it actually is. I don't think the conversation would have been a heck of a lot different.
No.
if the camera was off.
No.
And I think that everyone probably noticed that, and they just saw two of the coolest, whatever we are, dudes that have no title. Are you a raw vegan, raw till 12,
No.
you know, super vegan athlete, low fat, high carb? I don't know. I'm just here.
Well, you know, I was going to get rid of the raw label, Dan, because I'm running raw. That's my website, that's my YouTube, that's, you know, my t-shirts, running raw. And people like...
Now you're just going to be running.
Well, no, but here's the deal. Raw, if you look at the word raw, it comes from the Latin cru, all right? And that's where cruelty comes from. So you'll see like crudescence or crudité, or there's a restaurant in LA called Cru. It's a raw restaurant. It's about stripping away the flesh. That's what raw means. That's what the word actually means if you look it up, the original etymology. Stripping away, pulling away the outer layers, exposing what's underneath. And that's what we're doing. Raw to me isn't about food anymore. It's about stripping away the crap and the BS and all the masks that we put on and showing your vulnerable, raw self to the world. That's what it is.
Man,
and
I'll
if
be
I'm not
busy.
doing that, man, it's not worth it.
I'm going to be busy because I'm a mess. I'll just admit it here. I'm going to go into it because I have, it's like a lot of pressure. And if I could actually embrace what you just talked about, I mean, I'm vulnerable, but I'm not like vulnerable. Like, dude, I got my little secrets, nothing malicious, but just things I'm kind of still embarrassed about. Hi, I'm the Life Regenerator, been raw for 14 years, and my health isn't what I want it to be.
Yeah.
And because of, you know, and I just, so that's part of the vulnerability. And then there's this embarrassment, and, you know, and you don't want people to know, but you know what, if you make fun of yourself, then who's going to make fun of you? They're going to be like, damn. We got nothing left.
Yourself.
We got to make something up now. He's injecting bison balls into his arms and selling them to little kids on the street, and little desiccated, dried buffalo balls to little 10-year-olds. Let's get him. I'm unsubscribing from him. You know, people believe that crap. I mean, it's just bizarre, dude. I love it. But yeah, so if you just make fun of yourself, then no one else can make fun of you.
You take the power the moment you reveal your truth, because you're in control.
Wow, you know what happened to me the other day? It was profound. We were going to end this video, but
Yeah.
Dr. Hawkins, you know, one of my biggest influences in this life. You know him.
Yeah.
You know of him. Yeah. The other day I was listening to one of his audio programs, and he was just like, you know, I was walking around, I had my laundry, I couldn't find the basket because my damn eyes are going blind. And I just said, to hell with it, and he just got mad and threw the clothes down on the ground, you know. And normally you see like a spiritual teacher, you know, and he says, normally I suppress it, you know, just because it's the higher way to be. You can see that you can do that. You can be like, oh, you feel that, but you're like, oh, I don't need to be angry, you know. But then he said, you know, he's an 80-year-old man, a spiritual master, and he just throws the clothes on the floor, to hell with it, you know, and gets angry. And that just, knowing that was such a relief to me, that at 80 years old, all the experience he's had, and yet he can still get angry because he can't see where the hell the hose clamp is because his eyes are going bad.
Yeah.
And he said the little kid came out, and that was such a relief for me.
Because he's human.
And that is what we need to
He admits his vulnerability. We are all human. As long as we're here in this dance, we're human.
Yeah.
And we have to embrace that and stop trying to be perfect. And you said it earlier. You said we have to realize that we are perfect and that we are individuals and unique. And the problem is that people are like, no, perfect means I have to look like everybody else. I have to look like this concept of perfection.
Like you have to have lustrous skin and like a halo on your head with pure white clothing.
And that doesn't exist.
Floating 6 inches off the ground as you walk.
Yeah, and that's not you. That's not you. Your perfect is different than everybody else's perfect. Your perfect has nothing to do with society or culture or man or woman. Your perfect is uniquely you. That's what makes it perfect.
A perfect mess.
A perfect mess.
Yeah.
It's okay that it's
you
not
know,
okay.
we're probably equally positive, beneficial, gift-giving, juicing, raw foods. Wow, look at that. Those recipes are delicious, and I lost a lot of weight. And then just as equal as here's this guy who's like struggling to connect with people, and gets embarrassed and sometimes wants to say to hell with this whole thing. I'm just sick of this crap. I'm going to go get a real job, you know, and wants to give up and just so sick of it or whatever, you know, and then so many other things that I can't even think of now, or otherwise I'd bring them up. But, you know, as I go down this road, I'm going to share more of that because, you know, there's enough polished, airbrushed. This guy shows up every day. He's consistent. There's beauty in that. They're like, we know what we're going to get. We're going to go watch this guy. He's got the same backdrop, the same haircut. He goes over the same principles over and over. You got to respect guys like that. Then there's DTM. Videos never been in the same place twice, you know, and so you don't, it's not consistency, but the airbrushed stuff is just, that's not really my crowd. I'm too lazy for that.
Well, not only that, but are you really connecting? Are you really displaying something that's human? Like my teeth, all right? I've got holes in my teeth. And I had some dental issues, clearly, and I was going to fix them before the festival. But I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show up with holes in my teeth. I'm going to show up vulnerable. I'm going to show up flawed. Because, you know, people look up to me. They watch my videos. They, you know, many people aspire to do what I'm doing or to do what you're doing, whatever. And I'm like, look, I'm human. And I have challenge too, and here's how I deal with it.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't have challenge, everything's perfect. No, I have challenge. Here's how I deal with it. Here's how I get through with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes that process is not pretty. But that's how you really help someone, because they're going through challenge. They don't know how to get through it. And if they see you every day with a suit and tie and nice and hey, blah, 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 they're like, well, he doesn't have challenge. He doesn't get me.
Right.
But when you show your humanity, they're like, whoa, well, he's just like me. He's a human too, but he's taking steps and he's getting somewhere, and then they see the process. If you never show them step one, showing them the final result really doesn't matter that much. You got to show them step one, and step one is, okay, got some dental issues, here's how I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's okay to have that.
It's okay to have it. And it doesn't mean that my message is flawed because I have dental issues.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm not a man because I have dental issues. It doesn't mean the diet doesn't work because I have dental issues.
Yeah, I've noticed that. There's a lot of, it doesn't matter how good your diet is, people's teeth, I mean, they just, welcome to this world. And then you think about the physiology, and then your parents, and your constitution, and your environment.
What you ate for the first 30 years of your life, you know?
Yeah, and so it's like, well, why does he got wrinkles on his face? Well, I was a drug addict for the first 20 years of my life, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's like, so you gotta, just like, you gotta accept that yourself.
Yeah, and be honest and transparent. Yeah. If you're not, see, to me, the only thing worth selling really is honesty. No sales pitch. Just sell the honest truth and be enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're enthusiastic about your vulnerability, people are going to buy it. And then you've really made an honest connection with them. Then you've truly given them something of value. They won't have buyer's remorse. Mm-hmm. But if you know, get all dressed up and you sell them something, but you weren't really honest, then they're going to get it and they're excited at first. But then after a while, it's like, oh, this...
Your marketing is good, but your...
But the value isn't there. And then they feel like gypped. They're like, well, I
have the lowest return rate in the history of DVD audio sales. Less than 1%.
Holy cow, awesome, man.
Usually it's anywhere from 3 to 10% of returns. I think the people there, they love me. Most of the people, they love me. They're like, I don't give a crap what Dan makes. I'm buying it. It's good enough. You know, I don't even, you know, that's the beauty of the type of work that we do and having the type of audience we have. And then, like, the biggest example is, hey, I'm on the Best of Raw if you want to vote for me. And then the dude that does the voting is like, you won all the categories, you know, because they just were like insistent. Well, Dan should be the funniest guy too, and he's obviously the most handsome, you know. They were like voting for stuff that, you know, because they just want to, they'll give back to you. So you got the solid, it's a solid foundation built on what's real and true. Yeah. And God sees it, and the people see it, and you see it, and then you sleep well at night. So that's how I'm going to live. So Tim Van Orden,
Dan McDonald, man.
Dan McDonald, DTM and TVO together again. I think I'll title the video that.
Or you can call it DMT is Dynamite. Actually, no, it's DTM. What am I saying? DMT. Oh, no, that's the drug that Tony Robbins talks about. Tony
Yeah.
Robbins. Tony Wright.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm delusional. I'm
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins would not tell us.
Undercarved.
Oh man, don't even start, bro.
Dan, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a real pleasure.
For sure, bro. I was so glad. I mean, the festival's over.
Yeah.
It was busy as hell. We couldn't connect. I mean, we were all over the place, but today we finally got a chance, and I'm so glad that we did. Where can we find you, bro?
runningraw.com, or my channel on YouTube is Running Raw, and I have a new channel as well called Start Here on YouTube, where I show people how to get started. You're stuck? No problem. That's okay. Here's how you get started.
I just realized I have 10 million more questions for you, but we'll have to wait
We'll
till...
do it again. Wherever you are, I'll find you. We'll do it again.
Yeah, I think you were in the Bay Area for a while.
Yeah, I'm coming to California in a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, you'll always be, just get a hold of me, and if we can make it happen, we'll do something funny and cool and funky. If not, I'll see you next year, and I'll be wishing you well, bro. I know you'll do so.
Man.
All right, everyone. Oh, you want to...
Well, I was just going to say, you know who this man is, but if you haven't met him in person yet, he's an extraordinary man.
Thank
He
you,
really
Tim.
is. He's an extraordinary man. He's the real deal.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, now, peace be with you. We truly love you. Bye-bye. Great job, bro.